Hello, everybody. This is Drmcbrick, and I'm here with a new type of show. I'm here with a show I like to call AFOL Confessions. And what we're going to do during this show is show various AFOLs from all different walks of life and parts of the world and things like that. So what I'd like to do is basically start with a person who has come onto the scene in terms of YouTube and Instagram and a whole bunch of different media. And I've just been very, very impressed with this person and heard a lot of good things about her. And so I thought that we would get started. So I want to run the intro for her video or for her YouTube channel first because I think it's really cool.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're all having an awesome Thursday. I'm Stacy and this is the Forbricksandgiggles YouTube channel.
And there she is. How you doing, Stacy?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. This is Stacy from the for Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. First of all, before I get started with any other questions, I gotta ask you, where did you get that butt kicking music that you use in your intro? Because that intro is just amazing. I love that music.
Oh,
Every time I hear it, I'm just like, yeah.
thank you. I actually found that in the free music library that YouTube provides. It took a lot of looking, but finally I found an artist that I enjoyed, and they have several songs that I use throughout my different YouTube videos. But yeah, it did take a lot of browsing to find someone with great license-free music.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, I really love it. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, and when I first saw you, you were on Instagram, and then I went over to your YouTube channel. And I heard that music, and then when you're doing your speed builds, you use it and everything like that. And that, I mean, I just think it's great. And as a guy from the '70s, that music, I'm a real classic rock, kind of real hard rock, type of person, and that just really it speaks to me. So I have to ask you a question, Stacy. My first question is, when I saw you on Instagram, I saw your photos, and you had pictures of classic Lego sets. And those classic Lego sets were, like Castle and some of the good things like that. But then I saw you like on a background, like you are now, in terms of the paneling and the old instructions and all that kind of stuff. And it
Yeah.
just and even I don't know if you used a filter or whatever it was, but everything I saw was like, is this taken in like the '70s or the '80s, or is this like when was this taken? So was that intentional? Did you do that on purpose?
No, this nice wood paneling is my room.
Yeah. No, and it's great. It's great, but it,
Yeah.
it just fits in with the motif so much. Yeah.
I consider myself an old soul, so I feel like, this kind of retro vibe, I'm all about it. I like, any set pre 5 digits. So all the 4 digit and under sets, the classic Lego. So yes, I got all of these vintage box parts and instruction
Yeah.
manuals, and I was like, it just fits my vibe. So
Yeah. That's really cool. When did you start collecting Lego?
So, according to my mom, we got our first Legos in a cereal box, and that is
Wow.
what instigated the obsession.
Uh-huh.
So, some kind of cereal, I don't know. I do remember some little vehicle we got in a cereal box. So, but that was around 97. So, really, 98 was probably the first big year of Lego in our house.
Oh, okay. So 98, that's about the same time that my adult kids, so that you're about the same age as my three older kids. So that's the same
Yeah.
time we started collecting Lego and getting some of those cool sets and stuff that you like to review and everything like that. I know on your YouTube channel you've put up some videos of I think it's YouTube, or did you do them on Instagram, of you opening gifts as a kid? Lego
Yes.
gifts as a kid. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Was that something that you did? I mean, were you nervous about putting videos up about about being a kid and opening up gifts and all
Yeah.
that stuff? Or
Well, just to say, I mean, the Lego community has been very supportive, but I have had some people that think that I'm making up this Lego obsession. And I'm like, no, I really have loved Lego since I was a small child.
yeah.
So it was partly just like it was fun to go back and watch them, and a little
Hmm.
bit like hey, look, I'm not making this up.
Right.
Was a real thing, and we have it recorded. So
Right. So basically, what you're saying is that you were trying to prove to everybody that you did indeed start this Lego obsession when you were a kid, because it was
yeah,
obvious. It was obvious watching those videos. I mean, the excitement on your face was just. I mean, it warmed me as a dad thinking about my kids, but it was just. I could just tell. It was just like, wow, she really has. You know, that was an addiction right then, right there.
truly.
Now you also did a video with your brother about
Mhm.
kind of this stuff. So was like your whole family into it, or was it? I mean,
Um, yeah, so my sister, she has a few sets, but really my brother and I were the main two that were just obsessed and to this day,
yeah.
still obsessed. So,
Hmm.
she still has her few sets, but it just didn't have that grasp for her that it did for us.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Now, now, one of the things that you've done a great job, that at least in my opinion, and I would really recommend everyone to check out the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel and Instagram page. As a matter of fact, I think the Instagram page in particular is really, really awesome. I mean, Stacy's done a great job with. I mean, your pictures are just unbelievable in terms of the sets. Do you only deal with classic sets, or do you do with any mod? I mean, do you deal with any modern stuff like Ninjago City, for instance, or anything like that? Or
yeah, so I do buy all the current Harry Potter sets.
hmm.
It's my life goal to have all of them, and right now I'm just missing one.
Really, which one is that?
So it's the motorized Hogwarts Express.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so it's an expensive one.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do buy some modern. When I have extra money, I do like to go classic,
Hmm.
but I really liked the Hidden Side set, so I've gotten quite a few of the Hidden Side
Hmm.
sets. I'll get an occasional Star Wars set, or I do have some Ninjago. So,
Uh-huh.
as I find things that really kind of spark some of that kind of classic feel, I'll buy them.
Yeah.
But I definitely tend to go more classic, and I know Instagram and YouTube, they according to the comments, they like the classic stuff better. So I tend to display more of that just because I
Yeah.
know that's what they're looking for.
Well, and there's also a lot of folks I'm a pop culture professor, so I teach pop culture. I've been teaching it for 30 some years and stuff like that. And then I have 5 kids. And so I've seen this over the years, and I hate to keep harping on it, but my oldest son, for instance, he's 29. He and I are super Lego nuts. My other kids, my other 2 adult kids are Lego people, but they're not as obsessed as Brandon and I are. But
Hmm.
Brandon is exactly like you. He's like, Dad, I'm collecting the Harry Potter stuff, the new stuff, and the Hidden Side stuff, and everything else. I want to go Rock Raiders and Castle and all
Yeah.
the pirates and all the old stuff. So I'm wondering
Yes.
if it's, I mean, it seems like, I hear my students doing that too. I've done a lot of work with Lego in the classroom. And when we
Oh,
start
nice.
building stuff, I've noticed that my students, who are 20, 21, 22 years old, they tend to build the classic stuff and not
Hmm.
the modern stuff. Whereas my 13-year-old is looking at all the new sets coming out and everything. And so,
Right.
and of course, the sets that came out, I mean, they didn't even have sets when I first got mine. It was just a couple blocks you had to stick together. But
Right.
so you're finding that the classic stuff is what people really want to see, at
Yeah.
least with you and your channel and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I think nostalgia plays a big part in that.
Hmm.
People, anything that reminds them of their childlike years, I just think people really enjoy getting that kind of sensation of back through nostalgia. So,
Sure.
I mean, even for myself personally, even if it was before I came out, I looked through old catalogs, or I would be on eBay for hours looking at old Legos
Yeah.
that came out a long time ago that I was like, I
Uh-huh.
need to have these. So, I
Yeah.
do love the new ones, and probably in 15 or 20 years, I'll be looking back on those the same way I look at the
Hmm.
ones that are from 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's true. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the nostalgic ones, and that's one of the reasons why I did 6 figs. in terms of my my park, because I wanted to make sure that I had I had an outlet so that I could use my old sets and my classic sets, Johnny
Right.
Thunder, all of that kind of stuff. But the new stuff, I almost lately I've been feeling like I've kind of I've forced myself into a box where I have to build the city stuff and the new stuff and all that kind of stuff. I mean, do you feel forced into a box with the classic stuff, or you just do what you want to do?
I tend to do what I want to do.
It's good.
I am so easily inspired by an old set. I'll find one piece I love and I'm just like, I have to have this. So I don't, besides the Harry Potter sets, I diversify as much as possible because
Yeah.
I just really haven't found a Lego set I haven't loved. So
Yeah, well, that's true. I haven't either. I mean, I if it's Lego, I love it, and
right.
if it's even if I don't love it, and I don't have a Bricklink store like you do. And by the way, check out Stacy's Bricklink store. It's the number 4 Bricks and Giggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and I actually bought some stuff off of you. I appreciate it. I got a good SpongeBob. I've been looking for SpongeBob forever, and I found him on your store. But even the sets I don't like, I look at them and go, you know what? There's a lot of good parts there. So even if I don't like the set,
Absolutely.
I can use all these pieces and these bricks and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people neglect to look at that. I mean, Belleville was always one of my favorite themes, and people hate Belleville because of the large figures. But I'm like,
Yeah,
they have some of the most unique parts of any sets you'll find. So I always tell people, look at the parts list because you might find some crazy
right.
colored parts that you'll just love. So
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, I love, for some reason I like that really. Is Belleville the one that had, or maybe it was Scala, or however you say it, the real light pastel colors?
mhm. They,
Yeah.
they both did. They were out around the same era, so it
Okay.
could be either one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love and the 3D base plates. There's one base plate, and I think you may have done a video on it a while back that was like a really light green color with some gray cobblestone or whatever. I
Yes,
love that base plate.
that's a Paradisa set. Mhm.
Ah, okay, all right. But it's one of those things that I wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have got. At the time. I mean, my older kids are 2 boys and a girl, and my girl at the time, she was a little bit younger. She was about 4 years younger than her older brothers, and so she liked Lego, but she was more into just whatever they were playing with and stuff.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
but so in terms of your Bricklink store, how long have you been doing that?
I just hit 3 years.
Oh,
January 1st was 3 years.
congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Have you found that to be rewarding, or is it more of a chore or a task, or is it something that's just it's fun?
I love it.
Really?
I love it because, I get to use business money to buy Legos, and
Yes.
then every time I get a new lot in the mail, I'm like, this is just, it's like Christmas morning, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what all treasures lie inside this box. So,
Right. Right.
and then, it's a treasure hunt. You find an expensive part, a valuable, rare part, and, it goes
Yeah.
into the store and then it completes a set for someone. So it
Mm-hmm.
just brings me a lot of joy to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I
It's
love it.
I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do, and I salute people like you who have Bricklink stores. Back when Bricklink started, back in the original days in the late '90s, I actually had a Bricklink store because it was the thing to do, and it was before
Mhm.
eBay, right before eBay, and so I had it. But and I found it to be cumbersome because it was like, okay, I gotta, send this out and mail it out and everything. But the way technology is now, it's a lot easier. But I really salute you all who are doing the Bricklink stores, because it's people like me, like you say, who need those parts, or who say, yeah, that Paradiso set right there, I need X, Y, and Z. I need that horse or whatever it is from that,
Yeah.
from that set. And it really, like the SpongeBob. I mean, I saw SpongeBob and Squidward. I'm like, yeah, both of them. Those are the 2 that I want. Perfect. And so, so that's always a joy to find a Bricklink store like that. My problem is late at night, if I can't sleep, I'm laying in bed with my iPad and I'm going through Bricklink, and then pretty soon I look, next morning, there's $200 out of my account that I've spent.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
adds up very quickly,
yeah, it
and
sure
I always
does.
have, like, 10 carts that are full of stuff, I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
I need to get all these, but I have to space it out. so,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't spend too much at once.
Exactly. I have a question for you that I never asked a Bricklink seller before, but since I have you here, do you are you able to see that other people have your parts in their carts or not?
I'm not.
Okay.
Occasionally, it'll say there's like an order in progress, which I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure how that works, but typically I can't see that anything is in anyone's
Okay,
carts.
good. Yeah, that's something that I always wondered because I always think, well, geez, somebody it has $200 in the cart like me, but I'm not pressing the button to buy it or anything like that, and so I don't want you to to get all upset and
Right.
to want to buy that extra thing for your house, and you're waiting on me to press the button.
Right.
That would be torture.
It might
So
encourage other buyers, though, if you could see that other people have the same parts in their
yeah,
cart.
yeah. Well,
Maybe.
something I wonder if Bricklink will ever do, because now Lego is it owns them. Is how have you know how you get on other shopping sites and you put something in a cart, and all of a sudden, and well, eBay does this now, and all of a sudden it'll be like the next day you'll get an email and say, "Are you still interested in purchasing this?" Because
Right.
it wants you to buy it and stuff. And I've been
Definitely.
victim of that as well. Well,
Yeah.
let's get
Me too.
yeah, yeah, I think we all have. What are some of your favorite things to watch in terms of Lego, like channels and stuff, or and the types of content that you like in terms of Lego channels?
I like seeing how other people run their Bricklink stores. I'm always looking for, new inspiration. I do, of course, love your channel because it's a little bit
Thanks.
of everything, which is nice.
Thanks.
I do watch Bricksar, like you had mentioned earlier. He's got some great content, a lot of classic content. So I have a few. I'm just relatively new still to YouTube,
Uh huh.
and so I'm still finding I get recommended a lot of videos and I watch a lot of them. I don't always subscribe, unfortunately. I should be
Yeah.
better about that. But
Well, that's all right.
right, I do enjoy seeing how other people run their Bricklink stores. I do like the unboxing videos, which is why I've done a couple of those myself,
Hmm.
is because I like seeing what treasures other people find. So,
Oh, sure, those
just
are cool.
yeah, I had no idea until I did the first one how much people love those. So
It's
I started
amazing.
watching them.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people, how many hits and clicks you get from that. I mean, and
Right.
I should have known. I see my kids, and they just my little kids, and they sit there and they watch these, and I've done that too. And it's just like, especially because I'm a real tech type. I love tech stuff. I love car stuff. So whenever there's somebody's doing open an unboxing of some accessory for a car or something like that, or for like an
Right.
Apple product or a tech product or some, I'm constantly watching it. It's like I just spent 30 minutes watching a guy open a box of headphones. I mean, it makes
Right.
no sense. But but you're right. People like to see Lego. I think it's aspirational, don't you? That it's kind of like you see people unboxing stuff, and especially for younger viewers, or viewers that aren't able to necessarily afford a lot of things. They can see the product up close and personal in the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that I think the community, the Lego community, in terms of all the YouTube communities and also the Instagram community, Lego community, seems to be the friendliest, nicest group of people. I mean, I think I've run into, in the 3 years I've been doing YouTube, I've run into maybe one mean person, one troll. And that, I
Hmm.
mean, and and I have other friends. I have a family member who's a gamer, and he's got hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch and everything, and he games, and I mean, people just are trolling him and hating on him constantly, and I'm like, well, I don't really even see that with the big YouTubers. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
people have been relatively nice. I've had very few trolls, and anyone who writes anything remotely negative, I just go ahead and, delete
Right.
them. I mean,
Yeah.
I try not to let it get to me, but I
Yeah.
think it, as a female in a male dominated field,
Hmm.
I'm
Yep.
going to be a little more prone to getting that than maybe other people would be.
Yeah, and that's sad, and that and that's one thing that I thought about as well, because I had a couple of good friends who were women in the in Lego as well, but for some reason they disappeared, and I hope to goodness that they're still okay, because they were both nurses, but they
Mm.
disappeared about a year ago, and their channels haven't had any activity, and I've tried to
Oh,
email
wow.
them and text them and nothing. But yeah, but that's what they were saying as well, and I can understand it. And that's sad. I mean, well, it's sad anywhere, whether it's a Lego channel or anything. It's sad, but yeah, I think the Lego community in general is a pretty happy-go-lucky community. Um,
Yes.
and what's your favorite thing about the Lego? I mean, other than that, I guess what's your favorite thing about you know Lego folks?
Well, there's so much diversity within the, the themes and everything. So I love that everyone has just found their own theme or niche that they're just obsessed with.
Uh-huh.
And for the most part, they're pretty kind about other themes, unless they're totally obscure. But that's
Yeah.
what I love is like everyone is their own individual love within
Hmm.
Lego, but Lego as the umbrella brings everyone together. So I just like the diversity that's included with Lego.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. That's one nice thing that I've always enjoyed is everybody has their thing. And I don't know, like in my last video I just put up yesterday, I've been so stuck in building cities and theme parks and all that kind of stuff, that I've bought a bunch of Technic stuff. Bulldozers and RC and stuff that I can actually play with. I know this is
Right.
horrible as a 54-year-old guy, but it's like I want to build this stuff and watch because I love classic cars. We've had a '68 Mustang in our family forever,
Oh, wow.
and since I was 16, gave it to my son. Now he has it, and I had it for
Mm.
30 years. Now he has it, and it's like a show car, and I've rebuilt some other cars and things like that. And so I love the inner workings of the gears with the Technic stuff, but I showed my Technic haul, I guess, or all of my Technic backlog, and I got some comments, and they were from good people with good intentions, but they're like, you know what, stick with the city stuff, don't mess with the Technic stuff. And so, do you ever feel like you're well? I guess I asked you this before, but that kind of stuck in a rut. Like, okay, now I can't do anything other than build city. I have to stick with the Technic stuff. Like for instance, if you started
Right.
on your channel, if you started doing Ninjago, brand new Ninjago sets, that might seem kind of weird.
Yeah.
And maybe your fan base or your subscriber base might go, what's going on there? So yeah, so I felt
Yeah.
that lately.
I'm trying to diversify a little bit because there are only so many classic Legos out there. So that's why
Sorry,
I
it's
do kind of,
finite.
yeah, do classic Legos on Mondays, and then it's kind of an assortment on Thursday. So that way it gives me a little more room to play. And,
Mm-hmm.
if the person who's subscribing doesn't like what I'm doing on Thursdays, they still have the Monday episode. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping to reach a little bit more
yeah.
by, doing multiple days and doing them kind of themed. So that way it'll cater to
That
everyone at
that's a
some
really
point.
good. That's a great idea, Stacy. I never thought about that. Yeah, maybe I should do like a Technic Thursday or Technic Tuesday. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. And then because that's one of the things. Not only the YouTube uh, algorithm, but that's just one of the things that anytime you're trying to do any type of show or anything is that regularity, right? And so
Hmm.
and I know, like you say, you do things on Mondays and Thursdays. I always put out. I try as hard as I can to put out something every Saturday because it's
Okay.
regular. People count on it and all that kind of stuff. I always count
Right.
on your videos on Mondays and Thursdays. There's a couple people to put out their videos on Wednesdays, and so it just that's important. So that's a good idea. I think I might try that and see if see what happens. But that makes sense. Now, do you have like an Etsy shop where you make Legos as well?
Yes. So I have my Etsy store also called for Bricks and Giggles. And that's all Christmas ornaments that I've designed out of Lego. So
Yeah,
I'm a
as a
Christmas
met.
girl. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have a few that I wanted to show people because I'm just so impressed. So tell me about. I mean, tell me about these. These are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm actually, my degree is in graphic design. I was like an art student
Oh,
my
sweet.
entire life. And so and obsessed with Christmas my entire life. So it was like Lego, art, Christmas. How can we put all of these together?
Right.
And these ornaments is kind of what came about. They started as all Harry Potter themed, and then in the last year or so I've started branching out into some other themes. And these were kind of like my 90s, early 2000s, kind
Mm-hmm.
of retro looking ones for adventurers. I just found a Wonder Woman tile, so I did a Wonder Woman one, Aqua Zone. Yeah,
Yeah, that's. I saw those all of them, and I saw especially when I saw the Aquazone one. I thought, she's done it in the exact colors. It's the
right.
exact, and I'm sitting here right now looking at my Aquazone set, and it's like it's all the same colors. Even I mean, even the trans pieces you have there are perfect. You even have the printed tile there, and
Yeah,
then I mean the Explorer one, the Adventures one. That's unbelievable. That
thank
just
you.
looks so sweet with the gems and everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm just very impressed with your work. So you only do Christmas ornaments. You haven't branched out into any other thing.
Right now, that's what it started as. We'll see what it mutates to, but I was looking for something that would be usable, and I thought, it limits me that it's only Christmas, but to
Sure.
do something that has a purpose, that's what it started as. I'll see what else I can come up with. I've got my hand in like so many different aspects of Lego right now with the
Yeah.
YouTube channel, the Etsy store, the Bricklink store. I
I
work a
bet.
part-time job. So it's just like I just kind of do whatever I feel and
Yeah.
whatever I'm inspired to do.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll branch out into something new eventually, but
Yeah.
that's where it
Yeah.
is right now.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. I think that you've done an amazing job. You started on where did you? I mean, guys, where did you start? Like, where did you start in terms of your actual social media presence as a Lego person?
I started on Instagram. So that was right around Thanksgiving of 2019. So just
Okay.
over a year ago.
Wow.
Um, and I started with just displaying my ornaments.
Hmm.
And then I found this old picture I'd taken with the Super Star Destroyer that I had won.
Uh-huh.
And I posted that, and it's like my Instagram took off. People really love that. So then I was
Hmm.
like, I'll start
That's it.
including some pictures with myself in them and see
Yeah.
where it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. No, I've just like I said, I've been very impressed. I think you're a great AFOL, a great YouTuber, a great Instagram person, and your presence is just really welcome because to be quite honest, and I don't mean this in a pejorative way to any of my friends and colleagues because I'm one of them, but in the Lego community, there's so many middle-aged guys, middle-aged white guys, really, that are just proliferating on YouTube with Lego channels, and it's like it's great to see some enthusiasm and some real fun and stuff like that, and a woman who knows her Lego and knows her stuff. And has great production values. Again, I love your videos. The nice thing I like about your videos on YouTube is that they're short and to the point and very detailed, and that's something that's really hard to do. And for me, I'm one of those people that just constantly gabs. And as you can tell, I'm doing it now. Constantly gabs in my videos. As a matter of fact, I had one person, several people in my videos, in my comments, and I just laughed. They were like, "Can we get this guy to shut up and just show us the stuff?" And so I type to him back and stuff, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I try." And then they laugh, and we have fun with it. But you're very, you're very good. You show, you show the model, you do the speed build, you do a review of it, and that's it. And you don't have a 50-minute video like a lot of us do. So that's appreciated, and I think that's really resonated because a lot of folks your age. tend to do review videos. And again, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. I'm not down on anybody. I think there's a place for everybody in the community, but there are a lot of guys especially who are doing review videos, and I've seen a lot of women lately too that just review brand new sets, and that's all they do, just review sets.
Mhm.
And that's great, and I go to them when I want to buy a set because I know that I can trust them. But you have a different vibe and a uniqueness about you in all of your social media, that I hope people out here who are watching this video can really relate to, and hopefully tune in and subscribe and things like that. So
Thank you.
I hope that you can do that. Now, I do want to ask you one more thing, because we've said a lot, we've talked a lot, you've told us a lot about you and everything like that, but we have to get to the AFOL confession part. So
Okay.
this is the part where where I'm going to ask you, in terms of your Lego life and in terms of being a Lego fan and AFOL and stuff. Can you think of something that's like a guilty pleasure for you in the Lego world that you don't really necessarily advertise or tell people about, or you haven't told people about yet, but something that is like a Lego guilty pleasure? I'll give you an example of mine. Mine is, I literally sometimes talk to the minifigures in my city like they're real.
That's awesome.
So that's a guilty pleasure, or maybe it's a sickness, mental health issue. I don't know. But anyway, what do you have anything like that? What's your confession?
Um, I don't know really, like, along those lines, maybe. I would say my Belleville obsession is probably the, like, nerdiest thing about me. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
have over half the entire series. It's my goal to have the entire collection.
Yeah.
So, I know that that's not well received in the LEGO community, so I tend to not, advertise that a whole lot because I know people are gonna be like, "How dare you love Belleville?" So that would probably be the most of it. Usually when people ask me, I'm like, "Oh, I love Town and I love Harry
Mm-hmm.
Potter," because that's well accepted, and then I
Right.
kind of
Right.
brush the Belleville to the side.
Right.
So that would probably be it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's those things sometimes, like, you kind of hide, it's like, well, I really like Galador, or whatever, those
Right.
types of things. And people who are, I know somebody had said that that they really love Galador, and I think the entire Lego community seems to be universally hating on Galador. So
Right.
but I think Belleville has some really cool stuff. So I mean, I think that's great. So
Thank
anyway, it's been great talking with you, Stacy. I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate that you're just such a breath of fresh air for the Lego YouTube community, and thanks for all that you do. And I hope that people buy from your store, and whether it's the Etsy store, and you've done a great job of branding yourself, by the way. Yeah, where did that name? I mean, for Bricks and Giggles is probably the best name I've ever heard for a channel. I mean, and I mean, for a channel that's happy. And did you where did
Right.
you how'd you think of that?
Well, I mean, that's what Legos are. They're just for fun, and that's what the expression means. So
Mm-hmm.
it just popped right into my head. If you've seen any of my merch T-shirts, I love using bricks as play on words
Mm-hmm.
for naughty words.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it just was funny and kind of different. So I just thought it would be, kind of set me apart, be a little more unique.
It certainly does. It certainly does. And I love the one. What is it? Resting brick face or something?
Yes.
Or yeah, that one is great. What's the name of your merch store so people can go to it if they is it for where do you find your merch
It's
store at?
called For Bricks and Giggles. It's for Bricks and Giggles, but if you go to my Instagram account and click on the link, it'll give you the option to go to my merch store.
Oh, okay. All right, and there's your
Hmm.
Instagram account there. All right, well, great. Yeah, because I saw that and I'm like, I got to get that for a couple people I know. That's a great shirt, and I do. I like the fact that you do kind of put the words in, and
Right.
yeah, that's very creative. So I can tell you're an arts type of person, and and a very creative type of person. So Stacy, thank you so much. It's the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel, Instagram channel, Etsy store. Bricklink store and merch store. So please check Stacey out, and thank you so much again for stopping by.
Thank you.